For most English language learners, there's that moment where they get to the intermediate stage and they learn about passive voice, and everything comes to a grinding halt. That's what we're going to talk about today. There are three things that I want to talk about in terms of the passive voice, and they are: 1, when and why do we use it? 2, is it really a weak form, as some folks say? And 3, how do we form that baby? We generally use the passive voice when 1, we don't know who did the action. 2, it's not important who did the action. 3, everybody knows who did the action. And 4, we don't want to say. Because the passive voice focuses on the object of the verb and not the subject, it makes the action impersonal. And there are obviously situations where that's extremely important, principally in business. Okay, so for example, let's say John broke the machine. Generally in writing a report, you're not going to say John broke the machine, you're going to say the machine was broken. If somebody wants to know who broke it, they'll ask. So there's the question of, is it really a weak form? No, absolutely not. It's not a weak form, it's impersonal. And that's extremely important to remember, because in this situation, the subject of the verb is absolutely not important. We don't know, we don't care, everybody knows, or we don't want to say. How do we form that baby? It's super duper easy. We use the verb to be and the third form. What can be most confusing about the passive voice is that sometimes it doesn't make any sense in your own language if you translate it. And that's what's extremely important about the passive voice in English, is that it's not about translating it or understanding it in your language. It's about English and the mechanism we use to produce the passive voice. Okay, so what is that mechanism? That mechanism is what I call the perfect passive voice machine. It gives you perfect passive voice all the time. In order to use that machine, you have to keep in mind some peculiarities of the English language. And unfortunately, we don't have time in this video to explain the whole process, so I'll post a video on my channel on YouTube called The Perfect Passive Voice Machine. Check it out.